rolling acres in some unincorporated St. Louis County. That district is about 65% African American. We have never had an African American state senator in our history, and to the point that was made by the previous candidates, about 3 African Americans in the state senate, there is not a black man in the state senate of Missouri. I'm looking to make history by becoming the first elected African American from the 13th district. Many of you may know me from the work that I've done at the American Civil Liberties Union. I've been a part of some pretty high-profile fights for civil liberties and civil rights for everybody. The Constitution protects the rights of everyone. I've been part of those fights. I want to take that same fight that you've seen in me on behalf of the disaffected and the marginalized and the people who've been targeted for persecution and oppression to Jefferson City, an environment in which the majority party, in my opinion, the majority party comes together every year to make decisions about urban core communities and disaffected communities that relate to how they can disenfranchise them more, disempower them more, criminalize them more, and take more and more resources from them. When I get to Jefferson City, obviously the first thing we have to address is economic development and jobs. Anybody that's running for anything in the country, whether you're running for dog catcher or the state senate or the U.S. Congress, you better be focused on job development. But equally important to me, in the district that I represent, is public education. I'll save the rest of it for my next 2 minutes.
Okay. Sorry, you can continue.
I am disappointed that my opponent did not show up. I was hoping to have a real exchange of ideas and a real exchange of information. But public education, which I was going to talk about, is critical to our district. We have 3 major school districts in the 13th. You've got the Hazelwood schools, you've got Ferguson, Florissant, and you've got Riverview. Riverview has been unaccredited for almost 8 years. You can't talk about jobs and economic development long-term in any place if you don't have a quality higher education system available to everyone there. You can't create the kind of workforce that's going to attract the kinds of jobs that we're going to be competing for nationally and globally if you don't have quality education available to the young people in your community. I know that we absolutely need to make those resources available. I'm a big proponent of early childhood education. One of my good friends, Dan Ison, who's the chief of police in St. Louis City, and I agree that one of the best crime-fighting tools, speaking of public safety, which is a concern in the district, one of the best crime-fighting tools available to anyone is early childhood education. So I think that we really need to get back to emphasizing public education and prioritizing it, and that's what I plan to do. I also intend to be a voice for people in our community who have come to me directly and complain that the political interests that have represented that district for the last 20 years have only represented the interests of a small group of people. Let me go on the record and tell you, I am pro-union, I'm pro-labor, I'm for working families. What I'm not for is for a small group of people within those organizations dictating the political process to a majority community when they fail to represent our interests when they get to Jefferson City. I plan to be a voice for our community in Jefferson City and represent everybody in my district, regardless of race, religion, sexual orientation, or anything. So I'm asking for your vote on August the 7th. We can make history, and we can make this a more progressive region and make North County a destination for everyone.